Yo internet, how are you going? Oh, I said yo internet on a vloggy type video. Haven't done that in a while. Ooh, how exciting. I got a pint glass today of water because last time it took me a while to talk through it. So I thought, man, may as well get another drink today. Hydrogen and oxygen compound, 2-to-1 ratio. Good stuff. Right, okay. Latest video, 2 weeks in a row. Booyah! I have kept to a schedule for 2 weeks. That for my track record on my main channel, that is a billion times better than anything I've done before. So I'm happy now. So yeah. Let's go through it. Right. Very beginning, at the start, I wanted to do everything in this video by myself. Basically, I wanted everything to be original. But to do that, I needed some music, and I know a very talented composer called Stein Van Waken, or Brian Stein, as he is known on the YouTube. There's a link to him on my main channel, so go check him out. He does some amazing compositions, amazing orchestral versions of video game themes, etc. Some Doctor Who based stuff. He's really talented, and he also has a what's the term? Modern music. It's like house music, I guess. Electronic stuff. And I asked him, would you be able to do a news theme? And he's out all week. He wouldn't get back till, what was it? Sunday. So I was like, well, that's no use. So instead of getting him to do something, I would have done my own titles if he'd done music for it. But as I didn't have any music for it, I thought I may as well just use the BBC music. And as I'm using the BBC music, I may as well use the BBC titles. And I feel it sets the mood, to be honest, having the actual BBC titles. I think it sets the scene for what's about to come. The only thing to note about the titles is the fact that I changed BBC to EGE. George Edwards, my initials. Did that in Photoshop. Easy peasy. I kind of added a little bit of a transition over the top of there just so it's not like instantaneous. I did a little bit of a smoothing. Actually, in that shot you can actually see BBC going underneath it, but nah, won't matter. But yeah, I just had a little bit of a fade when the planet beeped, just so it wasn't just flashing in front of you. That's all I did there. Fade transition. Right, this bit. Several things to talk about. This, I guess, number one, the background. A lot of people have asked about the background. Somebody asked me, what 3D studio did you use for the BBC background thing? And I don't go that complicated into it. I don't use 3D studios or 3D environments or anything like that. I sat in front of that green screen behind me, recorded something, and then I thought, I better have a newsroom. And then I googled BBC newsroom, clicked on images, and that was one of the first few images that came up. And I really liked it, and I thought it would suit my video, so I used it. That's as technical as it gets with the background. It was a 4:3 aspect ratio. I had to change it to 16:9. Oh no, I've got an email. Go away. Twitter notification. Close down. So yeah, that's all to be said about the background. Chroma key, obviously, on the green. There is a little bit of frickly in the corner, because I didn't like the scene all that great. So I didn't get the perfect green screening, but it's good enough, I feel. Something that needs noting is the fact that because I was so lazy with lighting, is this the right? I'm just checking if I'm opening the right file right now. Not the right file. Yeah, this one. As you can see from the frame thing, which we looked at last week, I have shifted me over to the right hand side, so I've pushed the frame over to the left. So if we just set this to what it regularly would be, so let's put 16 by 9 in that, I'd be in the middle, and you can see the terrible chroma keying there. I could have covered that up. I have covered stuff up like that up in past, but I decided not to. Also, it was very convenient the fact that it was on the right hand, it was sort of like on the side, because when I moved it over, I just thought, hold on, I have room now to put things in the middle of the screen, like so. I couldn't do that before, now I can. That is great. Yeah, not much to report. The lower bar was done in the headline bar. Photoshop, as usual. I have several different versions of the left hand side, the lighter red, which show different times. So I've set this to 3 o'clock because that's my upload time, 3 o'clock, and then 1 minute past 3, 2 minutes past 3, 3 minutes past 3. So throughout the minutes of the video, it's going through in real time, basically. Presuming that you watch this instantaneously as soon as it. If you watch this bang on 3 o'clock, then the clock on there would be accurate. So if you watch it as soon as I uploaded it, then it would be accurate any other time. No, but it's right. It's right once a day, so that's good enough for me. Yeah, that's all. This bit. This is the first. This news report. This was the first bit that I created throughout the entire video. I had this idea and I scripted the video. But this was the first bit I made because I felt that the general feel of what I wanted to... I got a hair in my drink, that's disgusting. I felt that the general feel of the BBC News report I needed to capture within this moment. If I did not, then I didn't think it would be a very good video. And I based this heavily off BBC Midlands Today, their style of reports, which is basically... very daylit, slightly shaky cameras. I wouldn't film anything like this personally. Personal preference. If I was doing a news program, I probably would try and avoid filming it in this style. Personal preference, nothing against the BBC, but it's just not something which I do. But I really wanted to tackle the way the BBC did it, so I did. And I'm very pleased with the results. I'm properly proud of this section. I'm more proud of this section than I am the I'm Back trailer from last week, because I feel as if, well, I don't know. It just last week I captured the epicness of the trailer. This week I captured the simpleness of the news report style of BBC News. So I did make sure throughout this entire thing to make sure everything looked daylit. I filmed all of this in daylight because normally, I mean, these shots I filmed in the evening and at night, but these I made sure I filmed in the day because that's what BBC News tends to do. It was a little bit dark, so what I did what I do now. I've got my film light which I point into the corner and then it sort of like reflects off a little bit, so you get a bit of lighting, but it's not as intense. Studio lighting, as you saw here. Ooh, that's a terrible shot to jump to. One thing which I'm going to say, just in her ass. Just in her ass. Yeah. Another thing to mention. What I know from watching BBC Midlands Today reports is the fact that they don't really... They do show graphs and stuff sometimes, but a majority of the time when they're showing something social network or internet based, they show it on the screen, so they film a screen. Again, I consider that to be rather weird. I wouldn't do that personally. But I think it works. I think it works well for the BBC's target audience. Within the sort of like average viewers of the show, I think that sort of style suits it. So they've, I think they've done the right job with doing it, the way they've done it. And I really did like the style, so I really wanted to capture that as well. Yes. Also, to anyone who's read the captions, just it's bonkers. Thanks to my friend Roald for making some of the suggestions, because the story which I came up, all the headlines are linked. That's all I'm saying. Crudely linked in some places, but linked, and they all come together for an epic finale. Yeah. Nothing to report here. Yeah, I really wanted to show footage. I really want to show the way BBC tends to do things is they tend to flick through stuff like the words "past works." I really wanted to put that in there because that's very BBC News. So of course I went through these videos, selected a few scenes. I hate clocks, and a bit of sarcasm when I talked about this video. My masterpiece, my what did I call it? The well-produced, the extremely well-produced. No, it was not. That was a phase of YouTube videos, and there it is again. But yeah, not much to report there. And also Sadweek Studios, which is, I mentioned it last time, the YouTube Animation Network, which I'm starting with again. My friend Stein, brilliant composer. The CEO, which is Stein, the CEO of Sadweek Studios, goes mad and throws all the pigs from a farm into the sea. That was Roll's suggestion. And this shot, in this shot, I needed a photograph of me typing something, footage of me typing something. So I thought I may as well just type on the end of a script, because therefore it looks like I'm writing a script, even though I'd done the script by that point. So at the end of it, I didn't use I didn't have any plan for the end of the video at the end of it, as I'll talk about later. But I just started writing at the end of this thing, because this was an idea of what I was going to say at the end. So, breaking news. The EGE news correspondent, Justin Arras, has just been removed to hospital, and I have no idea what I'm writing here. Oh my effing god, what the F this is funny. Haha. All I needed to do was type for a bit. This is amusing. Please stop. LOL. That's immortalized in paper. That's what I was writing in that minute of that shot. But you can't see it because I blurred it out. Because it was swearing in it. But it was amusing. This interview... Again, I filmed this in daytime, although there was a lot of lighting involved. I felt that there was a lot of lighting involved from these things, but there was an awful lot of daylight as well. I feel as if I captured more daylight from this one than I did this one, to be honest. That was more studio lit. Although at the end of the day all looked the same, but at the time I felt like I had a lot of light to my face, while this one I felt like I was being lit by sunlight. There was a bit in the middle here where I made a joke about Justin's name. I cut that because it kind of interrupted the flow. I kind of considered it inappropriate, but it kind of interrupted the flow because it was very professional up to this point, and I wanted to keep the flow professional throughout the interview, kind of, until Justin starts going a little bit bonkers, and then I wanted it to go downhill, instead of making a joke about the name. So it's serious, joke, serious, joke, 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 serious, joke. I didn't want that, so keep all the jokes in one place. And it also cut down the length of the interview because it was quite a long interview at the end of it. Right here, in between this bit and this bit, they're two different sections. I cut a massive bit out, so I just got a little bit of footage of Justin rolling his eyes or whatever and placed it over the top of the transition so nobody would notice the jump cut thing. Yeah. Right, the bit where I'm thanking the viewer. This video is basically my way of slightly poking fun at people who are constantly saying, "Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you," when they haven't achieved all that much. Really. I did try and film a vlog of that, but I just thought it felt a bit. It felt a bit self-obsessed. So I wanted to thank people, but I didn't want to seem that self-obsessed. So I thought, what I want to do with this video is I want to thank my audience, and then take the pee out of myself. Basically poke fun at myself constantly and bombard me with insults. So that's what I did with Justin. Thank you, Justin. Yeah. But that bit where I was thanking, that wasn't scripted. I made that up on the spot. And I'm very proud with this section. The interaction between Elliot and Justin. The facial expressions. I'm just really proud of that. This is the first time I've done any conversation stuff with myself, really. There are a couple of old videos where I tried sort of splitting the screen and doing interactions. Like I did a normal day for me. It was something to do with Darth Vader. What else is there? I'm sure there's something else. Oh, there was an effects test which I did for the Open University where I shot myself. One version of me shot the other version of me. Check them all out on my main channel if you want to. There wasn't really any conversation or anything like that, and I don't think I synced it up all that well. So this is my first proper attempt at something like this, and I feel this scene, I'd like the rest. If I do stuff like this, I want the rest of the interactions to be of that standard. And I love this joke. I was very proud of it when I wrote it down. Because again, it's just taking the mick out of the fact that it wasn't all that successful. It was successful by my standards, but a lot of people might just look at it and just think, no, it's not that great, really, is it? But yeah. And of course I explain myself there. And again, there was another reference here where Justin said, what did he say? He said something along the lines of, oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? All those views. I said, sorry, if you're insulted about what I said about your name. But I cut that out because, of course, I cut the previous thing out because it was considered inappropriate and interrupted the flow. And I think it increases the flow a bit here as well, cutting that out. And this bit just got random. From this point onwards, there's a lot of this video which was scripted, or at least planned at some extent. All I knew from this point onwards was pegs. That was all I had. Pegs, thank people, Justin goes mad and shouts his name. That's all I had. So this bit was just generally... I filmed Justin first, going mad and doing all these things, and then the second thing I had to film Elliot's reactions to that. So yeah, that was quite amusing, which explains why in this shot the computer's off, yet this shot the computer's on, because I looked through the footage of of myself because this was all unscripted. So I had to look at what I filmed of Justin and film Elliot's responses. So continuity error, but hey ho. I don't think anyone noticed. And I genuinely thought I could peg a peg onto my nose, but it didn't work. But pegging them onto my hair does work. And those are generally the pegs which I use, well, we use for hanging out washing. And then the screen cuts off again, great. And Elliot starts Justin starts taking the pegs off, and then he starts putting them back on. One bit that's quite weird about this is I start saying those aren't our pegs, and then Justin says, "Yep, yes they are," as if he's guilty in some way. And then Elliot doesn't really deny that. He doesn't deny the fact that we have pegs. So at first he says, "Those aren't my pegs," and then he says, "Well, yes, they are my pegs." You can tell when something's improvised. It's pretty obvious when you can tell something's improvised. And I have no idea what this tumble dryer metaphor is meant to be. But if you have any ideas of what the tumble dryer metaphor is meant to be, leave a thing in the comments. I've got to say, actually, while I'm saying this, thank you, Isabel, because she watched my last one of this all the way through and commented twice and left a like. Please like if you like this video, people, because it means a lot to me. But no, I was just like, what, dude, you watched this all the way through? What? It's 30 minutes of me talking. It's not even all that good, but apparently she did. So thanks, dear. And then I started reusing. Oh no, this was something which I filmed again. For some reason, Justin takes the pegs off and then puts them back on. And then it starts talking about why was I invited to speak on this news program, because to be honest, this isn't all that important, which it isn't. So at the end of it, it's just some kind of conspiracy thing where Justin's trying to frame Elliot to make him look stupid because he's been bragging about how good his channel's been doing. And then I start thanking people for all their support. Thank you for. I'm just gonna say it again. Thank you for all your support with last week's video, because I started with 114. I think 114. Now I'm on, no, 240. Now I'm on 220. So that's quite good, to be honest. I'm quite happy with that shift, and that's a lot. And the views were great for my channel. And so were the likes and the comments. The comments were great. I loved receiving the comments. And the amount of people who shared it as well. And on the subject of this video, the amount of people who shared this... I mean, I know in the video I said, oh, sharing helped a lot. It was kind of a hint, to be honest with you. It was a call to action embedded within the story of the film. But... a lot of people have shared it on Facebook, and that's just in the past few hours. I mean, I'm recording this on the day of upload, and there's been quite a few of my friends and stuff who have posted it. So thank you so much for liking and sharing and all that stuff, and for subscribing, because it really does help, and it means a lot to me. And thank you for your comments. It's been a great day. It's been a great day seeing your comments on my new video. It was great seeing them on my last video. We're almost at the end of the video, blooming heck. How long has this taken? Oh, we're nearly at 30 minutes. About the same as last time. Yeah, so this bit, obviously, I walk away. The thing about this is I wasn't sure how I was going to film this, whether I was going to film it realistically or just from the point of view of the viewers. Because nobody has really taken into account that there is nothing there. There is my film light, there is a keyboard, and there's a window and a wall. The only exit is that way, which was where Justin was sitting. I kind of wanted to film me in front of a green screen so I would walk past Justin, but I thought because Justin was so mad he would just grab hold of me, and also it would be a lot of work. So I decided not to do that and just to stand up and walk that way. Even though there's no, you literally cannot walk that way. I crashed into things. I cut out the sound because I knocked something off the side of my table, standing up and walking in that direction. But did it? I did. Oh, another thing as well. Just to hit home the fact that I am a filmmaker, I made sure that in the background of this shot, I put my film clapperboard. Because I had to put that there. I was just like, I need filmy stuff in the background. I had the clapperboard, and I put a couple of cameras on the top of there, but I don't really have much in the way of cameras. But yeah, and of course, I just had to put the clapperboard somewhere, so I put it there. And my YouTube channel on the desktop. And I decided to cut this to a slightly wider shot, because this entire thing, let's open this up. I moved the frame in, as you can see there. So, yeah. So I just thought I'd move it out for this shot. May as well. And I love how I feel really sorry for Justin. Him and his name. He's tormented his entire life. I forgive him. Now, yeah. But green screening in this isn't as good as the last bit, I must admit. There's a slight white edge around me. I'm not quite sure why that is. But it was, have to deal with it. And I don't think anyone really noticed or cared, to be honest. I think the idea was gotten across. This, like I said, with all that writing of bloody bloody blah, please stop it, oh it's so funny, what the boop is this, with the script writing, I didn't plan for this last section, so I thought, I've thought of a way to plug my other channels without using an end card or doing calls of actions. This entire video is basically just calls to action, but you don't quite know it. It's not so in your face, but it is. So I'm kind of happy with that. So I plugged Edit Games and Edit Extra, obviously, and that's my last video which I did on this channel. Yeah, I did not intend to use that footage anywhere on my main channel, but it turns out that I have. And this, the sounds of Justin banging on the door at 12:10 at night. I just went to my family and I said, because my mum was watching TV and my dad was brushing his teeth, I said, excuse me, I'm just going to make some very loud noises in the kitchen. Hope you don't mind. So I went, I put my microphone, which I'm using now, put that in the utility, stood in the kitchen, closed the door, and then just started shouting. Shouting over and over, banging at the door. And that got the slightly muffled sound from a distance. Yeah, that's how I did that. If you want a muffled sound of something coming through something else, but noise coming through something else, I suggest you just record it instead of adding effects or anything. I've always felt that's the best way. You can do it that way, but it's always best to just record in the actual environment. Calls to action here. I'm sure Elliot would appreciate that. Yeah. That's just it's just reminding people that this character is not Elliot. This character has nothing to do with Elliot. He's not self-promoting himself, he's just helping somebody else out. How dare you suggest he's self-promoting? Yeah. And this end bit is slightly technical. Let's just, can I drag this over? Let's see if I can drag this over. There we go. Right. Okay. You can see my messy editing now. So, this here, this is where this, can I drag this back? There we go. You can see that there. Boom. Oh, boom. There we go. You don't need to see all those. So, this where the sound is. I wasn't sure how to get the sound. I couldn't get any copy of the outro sound of a decent quality from BBC News. So what I did is I got a bit of the theme. There's a 4-minute long version of the theme or something like that on YouTube. which I downloaded, and I just gradually faded in, as you can see here, up till the very end, because I felt that built up to the end, because you have that anyway. And then at the end, I made a transition into the opening drum thing. So it faded into that, and I used the same bit of the intro, and then I reversed that same drum thing, so it sort of like faded out. And I thought that seemed like a decent ending, so it built up and then went away, and you had the logo, and both of them faded away. I felt that did the job. If you felt like it did the job, then please let me know in the comments. I wasn't too sure about the ending. I actually changed that last minute, but I was happy-ish, I guess, with it. So yeah. So yeah, I suppose that's the end of today's behind the scenes-y kind of video. If you liked it, then please like it, and I suppose then please share if you want other people to know about how I edit my videos, I guess. Although I would much prefer it if you went to my main channel and shared this actual video, which I put a lot more time and effort into. I mean, this was it's coming up to 35 minutes filming, but so it's probably going to be about 40 minutes editing it all, 50 minutes rendering, and about an hour up to an hour sort of like doing everything to uploading it. But I'd much rather if everyone could support my main channel and all the hard work which I put into that. This is just fun, really, more than anything else. And if you learn something from it, then that's great. And if you're entertained by it, then that's even greater. But if you can please like and share the main video, if you haven't already, that would be fantastic, because I put a lot of work into it, several days' work, and I feel it paid off. If you don't think that, then you don't have to like, you don't have to share, but let me know nicely. Let me know what you think I did right, what you think I did wrong. Constructive feedback is always good. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you liked this video, and I will see you again hopefully next week for more behind the scenes-y things. Please subscribe to this channel for weekly videos, I guess. I suppose I've got a schedule of this now, every Saturday. Subscribe to my main channel for videos every Thursday, and subscribe to my gaming channel for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Whoa! Commitment. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you all once again in the future.